All right, good morning, everyone. Well, welcome to the Joint Criminal Justice and Public Safety Committee meeting for January 24th. It's 10:04 a.m., so we'll begin. Call the meeting to order. I'm Mike Gerasi, the supervisor for the town of Horicon, and as most of you know, this is my first chair as of this committee, so I appreciate everyone's guidance and assistance as we move forward. And I'd like to welcome our committee members as well. Let me just do a very quick roll call. I see Supervisor Driscoll is in here and Supervisor McDevitt. And we've got Supervisor Bramer, Supervisor Sieber. Supervisor Dickinson had to leave for another meeting. And Supervisor Diamond, on or not? No? Okay. The first thing I like to do is, as you know, the chair of the board on last Friday mentioned that the chairs of the committees can select their vice chair and second chair. I'd like to offer that opportunity for our committee members based on your interest and availability. And if you'd like to self-nominate yourself or somebody else, but I'd rather all of you made a decision who should be the vice chair. Certainly you've all been doing this much longer than I have here, and the second chair. So let me throw that open to the committee and get your opinions for vice chair for this joint committee. Anybody? Thoughts?
Aye.
No offers? Supervisor Bramer?
Thank you, Chairman. I am sorry about my video here with the sunshine. It's an interesting proposition that you put forward, and I'm not seeing a lot of hands jumping up. I'm happy to serve as your vice chair if no one else is interested and you're willing to have me.
Any other opinions? Any other nominations? Supervisor McDevitt?
I would be happy to leave that to your discretion and your choice, and just let you be the master of ceremony.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, I appreciate that. And yes.
So I would just, if Supervisor Bramer is, at this point, is the only one who has expressed interest, let's give her that opportunity. I don't know if it needs to come to a second or how that goes, but let's let's do that today and afford that opportunity to Supervisor Bramer
Okay.
to be the
Good. Agreed. Supervisor Bramer, thank you for your offer and as serving as the vice chair of this joint committee. Appreciate it. Look forward to working with you. Sorry. You're on mute, but I think you said.
Yep. So
You're
I'm
happy.
looking forward to working with you too. Thank you, and the rest of the committee.
All right. Terrific. Thanks so much. First order of business is the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting. Hopefully you had a chance to review that. Supervisor McDevitt, second by Supervisor Driscoll. Any discussion on the minutes? All those in favor signify aye.
aye.
Opposed? Okay, carried. Thank you. We'll open the meeting with the district attorney's agenda. We have one action item.
Yes,
Floor is yours.
thank you. I don't know if this is working. From that at all? Okay. I have only the one item on. There's a grant opportunity. This is not a new opportunity. This is something that we've relied on in the past, and I think many of you are familiar with it. And there, I think on January 11th, there was a request for applications that went out around the state. And so basically I'm here seeking permission to make application for this funding. They don't set a specific amount. That's sort of how it's been traditionally. They give awards. It is competitive. Our office has, and this county has benefited through our victim assistance program, which supplements the attorneys in our office in dealing with victims of crime. So where the funding would go for our office if the application were approved and you agree to permit us to make application, is it would be used towards direct services to victims of crime. We have currently 2 people that work full-time on that, and that's their sole responsibility. It's a terrific resource. It's something that we lean heavily on that aspect of our office. It is, if you look inside the proposal, there is some match requirements. Those match requirements, as far as I know, at least as far as since I've been DA, have been present. I will tell you that they were waived during COVID. And if you read this, it appears they're going to be waived next year. Their year, unfortunately, I wish everyone was always on the same year, January 1 to December 31st. Theirs is, it starts in October. It does mention that. Now, so let's talk about the match. What we've been fortunate is they do permit in-kind match, so it doesn't have to require necessarily county dollars. For example, space can be given credit, and we dedicate obviously a lot of space towards our victim program and to meeting with victims. The other thing is interns. They set the value of volunteer work is in the form of interns. We've worked, but again, other than COVID, which really had an impact on being able to bring people in, and I suspect that's why they waive match for those years and plan to waive for the year going forward. But we utilize interns, so you get a lot of credit. There is some expense, even if we were able to meet all of the match. The way it works is the director of the program for Warren County, 5% of their salary cannot come from the grant money because they say that's to basically apply and administer the grant. I think in the last couple of years, it's been approximately, and I'm going from memory, around $150,000 a year that we've been fortunate to receive. And not to belabor this, but I'm really hoping that you'll permit me to make application again.
A motion to move this to the floor by Supervisor Driscoll. Second, any questions, comments, discussion on the issue? All
I
those,
do. I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, if I may.
yes.
Was that, did you have a second on that already?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Repeat the question, please. I think I covered you.
Did you have a second to the motion?
Yes, we did.
Oh, okay, I'll take my hand down for that then. I had a question for discussion,
Go
if
right
I may,
ahead.
Mr. Chair. May I address our DA?
Yes, go ahead.
District Attorney Carasone, I just had a quick question about it. Number one, so to the extent possible, all that match money will just be in kind and not be third party. So the only third party money coming out is to that percentage for the director. Is that correct?
Well, that's the goal. I don't think I can say that without knowing, that right now we don't know what the award would be. But if you look inside the way the program's set up, that's the way we've historically been able to do it. And I'm not aware of anything that would change that. I do know that there's a requirement and I'm reading these application papers that there is financial monies available. So I don't want to speculate on why, but I think we'll have the space and the interns so that we can cover that match without financial monies, if that's what you mean.
Yep. May I ask another question, Mr. Chair?
Proceed, sure.
Thank you. DA Carasone, the other thing that changed last year was an ability now to have paid interns. And I know that the VOCA dollars funneled through OBS will in fact allow for payment, that salary towards interns. So in the past, I'm aware you've offered them for credit, but I do think it's an opportunity for maybe not all, but some of your interns to utilize some of those dollars towards paid internships, which might also be helpful for you. But that is a more recent change in our internship policy, and being familiar with the VOCA and the OBS guidelines, I just wanted to bring that up and hopefully you'll take advantage of it.
Yeah, thank you. One of the things in reading through this, it looks like that they're requiring at least one volunteer. They're calling it a volunteer, but I see that as an intern. And I think the way they're classifying it is unpaid, but certainly if granted permission to go forward, as we get deeper into this application process. Whatever opportunities are there, we're going to seek them out. But no, I agree. And I think you've been a big advocate of interns, and we've been lucky to be able to utilize them over the years.
Any other questions or discussion? All right, we had a motion to approve by Supervisor Driscoll, second by Supervisor McDevitt. All those in favor signify aye.
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 Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
Great, thank
Sure.
you. Thank you.
Appreciate it. There's no discussion items listed. Any referrals or pending items? There's none listed?
Not for me.
Okay, thank you. Privilege of the floor. Is there anybody online? Any comments? Anyone present? Seeing none, accept the motion to adjourn this portion. Oh, okay, disregard. We'll move on to the probation agenda. Ask the Director of Probation, please. First order is to approve the minutes of the prior meeting. We already did that as well? Okay, that's fine. All right, we have two action items. I'd ask, please proceed.
Thank you. Good morning, and thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have two action items. The first one is to fill a vacant position, the senior account clerk position in our department is going to be coming opening. We had a recent promotion for our current senior account clerk to probation assistant. So that will indicate or cause an opening in that position. And that position handles the bulk of our reception duties as well as the restitution and other financial obligations that we have within our department, which have to do with collecting DWI administration fee, restitution, and drug testing.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
second by Supervisor Driscoll. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Second item?
Second item is more of a housekeeping item. During the budget process, we took over the monitoring of ignition interlocks of conditional discharges from the district attorney's office. The ignition interlock law went into effect in 2010. Since that time, probation has monitored probation. DA has monitored conditional discharges. This year, we're taking that over from the district attorney's office. So we'll be monitoring CDs as well. And as a part of that, that's an additional responsibility that we put on an individual in our office. And during the budget process, we came up with a $3,000 per diem for that individual to do it. As it turns out, per diem is not the proper term. It should be a stipend. So what we'd like to do is to change the salary schedule from probation per diem 3,000 to probation ignition interlock device transfer monitoring stipend of 3,000 effective January 3rd of 22. So we're just changing the wording so the individual doing the work can get paid.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Supervisor Seaver, second. Supervisor McDevitt. Discussion? Questions, comments? Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carried. Any further discussion items? None listed? Any pending items or referrals? I see none. Privilege of the floor. Anyone online? Anyone present? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Move to public defender.
I have one item to start with the agenda request with permission to enter into a contract with Office of Legal Services for distribution number 12. As you may recall, 57% of my county budget comes from ILS, which is the Office of Indigent Legal Services. Number 12 pays for a salary for one of my support staff. It started as distribution 3, it became distribution 6, it became distribution 9, and now we're requesting to make it distribution 12. They're good for 3 years, so I respectfully request that we can proceed with this.
Okay. Motion to move this request to the floor. Supervisor McDevitt, second. Supervisor Driscoll. Any discussion, questions, comments? Seeing none, motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
There is a request for an executive session.
Yes, please.
Motion to move to executive session. Supervisor Driscoll, Supervisor McDevitt.
It's on a personnel matter.
All right. We'll move to executive session for a personnel matter.
Aye.
All those-
Is our, is our county attorney there?
His
Yes, Supervisor.
Should there be more of an explanation on why we're going to executive session, or is that sufficient?
The executive session should be under Open Meetings Law, Section 105F, to discuss personnel matters.
Thank you very much.